Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to today's Human Music live stream. And we did pretty good last week. I hope you had a chance to join and check it out. My intention was to do something simple and easy and quick. So I chose a genre that am fairly well versed in, which is funk music. But then, as it turned out, I ended up using three live streams, a total of 9 hours, more or less, to finish that song. I hadn't taken into account the fact that there's a lot of musicians on stage playing P-Funk kind of music, and the kind of vibe I was going for was, that chaotic thing of like a ton of musicians funking out on stage, and that just takes a lot of time. Takes a lot of time because it's a lot of overdubs, a lot of fixing little details, a lot of learning little riffs that one instrument did, and then I wanted to repeat with another. Lots of trial and error. So yeah, so it was much more time consuming than I had initially anticipated, but I'm pretty happy with the results. You can go back and watch the last one from last week to hear how the more or less the final result. Excuse me, my morning orange juice. How the final result turned out, and I was pretty happy with it. My friend Pete told me that I probably got as close as a single person can get to the neighborhood of a P-Funk kind of a vibe, which I thought was a very high compliment, right? Because you can't expect to sound like P-Funk as a single person producing, composing, but you can have fun trying, and you can get a pretty cool result in the end anyway, right? The point isn't to compare with the inspiration, just to take that inspiration and run with it and create something interesting, unique, cool. So today, I thought I'd do another genre of music that I have a pretty decent grasp of. I've done a few of these for the libraries over the years. Mainly, I've worked with the YouTube Audio Library and the Facebook Sound Collection, and I really have a lot of fun doing reggae music. So I don't have a lot of time again today. So this is probably going to be just the start of a reggae tune. So first, we're going to start by opening up a Pro Tools session, um, 48 kilohertz, 24 bits, and it's the template that brings up tracks already for my drum set. So, oh, sorry, I have to name it. So let's call it Livestream Reggae number one. Why is numbering these? Because they're I'm gonna write a lot of songs. This is gonna be years of my life here. So into the human music folder here, we're gonna do Livestream Reggae number one, and I'm sure I'll do more reggaes because there's so much variety you can find within the genre, from classic reggae, Bob Marley style, all the way to contemporary reggae. I actually really like an artist called Savannah. She's beautiful and she's got a great voice and a really, really cool production team. And it's really cool modern reggae. So I can go anywhere, in that, even dub. Since this is probably going to be an instrumental, I'll take lots of influence from dub. So let's stop talking so much and get started. So what I think I'll do is maybe just come up with a loop first. So I'll go over there to the drum set and try to play a little reggae. One thing that sometimes works for me is to put something on my ears, like a classic reggae tune, play along to it. But on the other hand, lately I've been enjoying letting myself as a drummer be the clock, be the moving force, the source of tempo, the source of groove. So when I play along with the recording or with the metronome or with the guide track, I end up putting myself more in the following role rather than the leading role. And there's something to be said for the drummer being the rhythm leader in a band. And it might be a subtle thing. I know that really highly professional drummers can play to a metronome, and still it'll feel like they're leading, right? But I'm not that good a drummer yet. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play the drums freely. And again, I've been doing a lot of these songs with no metronome. However, since we will probably end up using a loop in this song, that'll mean that in this case I will indeed have a click, which could make things easier in production sense. Okay, let's group the drums here. We'll create a group called drums. Um, and we'll go ahead and hang the reverb in the drum reverb slot here. Valhalla Vintage Reverb. Always use this one. We'll leave it with the preset that comes, which is pretty good. Just make sure that we have phantom power on. Turn my speakers off here. Oh, that knob is noisy. All right, and we can bring the GoPro camera over near the drums so you can see me a little more close up as I try to perform a little reggae here. I'm Brazilian, living in Mexico, so not quite Jamaican. But hey, you know, music is international, universal language. I've seen Japanese bands play salsa with impeccable authenticity. So there's no cultural appropriation here, only cultural appreciation. Deep love for the music. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off my voice microphone here so that you don't hear the drums through this, because it sounds really bombastic if you do. So you won't hear me talking for a minute. All right, since this is a loop, we don't need to play a whole lot. Just needed to feel like I got one nice bar there. Anybody here? Please say hi if you're in the chat. I'd love to interact with my viewers. Right, let's get these all out of record enable, because that will allow the trim plugin that I have on my floor tom mic here to engage, and that one's just inverting the phase, because that microphone is opposite in polarity to the other microphones. We can also kind of do a little pre-mixing here. All right. I don't know. Maybe I should have played a little more. Hold on. Yeah, I think I need to record a wee bit more, a little longer. Let's do that. Maybe we'll open playlist here. Dun, 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 bum, ba, gung, gu, da, dun, ga, ching, gu, dun, gu, bing, dun. Dun, dun. I think I have we're jamming from Bob Marley in my head. I wanna jam it with you. Whoa, whoa, bam, Zion. Yeah, that's a good. All right, maybe that'll do. Maybe I got a little more in the vibe there this time. I used the cross stick instead. Oh, I never took the GoPro over there. It's okay. I guess you could still see me in the lower camera here, even though from a little far away. Keep forgetting this camera right here. It's supposed to be the instrument cam, the one that I move around as I play different instruments. All right, no big deal though. get the the difficulty here and find if I need the one, right, because I'm not playing on the one. This is a 2-drop beat, so there's actually no note on the one. All right, this is probably as good as I'm gonna get a loop for now. Now we need to find the BPM. So let's just fine tune the loop, make sure that it's I think it's a little bit starting a little early, maybe perhaps. Let's try this. Yeah, that feels a little better. Okay, so now we're going to use the Pro Tools identify beat, which is Command 1, right? And we're going to tell Pro Tools that this loop is starting on bar 1, beat 1, and it's ending on bar 3, beat 1, right? Because it's a 2-bar phrase. So let's do that, and choose bars and beats here, and nothing's lining up. Nothing's lining up. And it's giving me a 125.26 BPM. So I probably didn't quite nail the edit, right? Let's choose. So here's what we can try. If the loop felt okay, maybe it was okay, but it wasn't. It just wasn't starting. On the one. But if I move everything, then it starts to line up. See that? So that means maybe I should just edit it to the grid, and now everything seems to line up. So let's see. Aha. So if I turn on the metronome now, it should line up. So let's see. Pretty close. Only this hit right here is a little early. So what if I just fix that, right? So I don't need to quantize the whole thing because that'll lose most of my human imperfection, human touch. But we also don't want it to be sloppy, right? Not too sloppy anyway. So let's just fix that one hit that seems to be a little too far off, and turn on the click. All right, and I've spent a little time with this because after all, this is going to be our metronome for the entire song. We do want it to be good and groovy and funky and feel nice to play over. Okay. So now we can duplicate it, right? Well, first what I did, I didn't mention it. I consolidated it. I used the Shift Option 3 option here on Pro Tools, which is the same as when you come here and do consolidate clip. See? Shift Command Option, no, Command Shift 3, right? And that creates a nice little Lego block that's precisely 2 bars long. And now I can duplicate it. Here's another trick. Once you duplicate it a few times, you can hold Shift and press Enter on the keyboard. See? Hold Shift, and then it'll select everything behind the cursor. Because if I press just Enter, the cursor will go to the beginning. If I hold Shift, it'll go to the beginning and selecting everything, and then I can just Command D, which is duplicate, from there. Now I've duplicated the whole thing. Instead of going bar by bar, right? Now, this is already 3 minutes and 25 seconds, which is close to how long I need it to be. I like to work with about 4 minutes and then eventually maybe cut it down to 3.5 minutes, which is like pretty much the usual length for these things. In fact, if I can, I like to make it 3:33. I have an affinity for the number 3:33. Is anybody here today? Anybody watching? Please say hi in the chat if you are. It would be nice to see who's around here. All right, so we've got this beat now. We can turn off the click. We don't need it anymore. Now we can do guitar, we can do keys, we can do the bass. Maybe I'll just start with the bass, right? And today I have my lovely, the newest addition to the collection, which is my Yamaha BB. It's got this beautiful indigo blue finish. It's kind of dark here, so it looks black, but trust me, it is blue. Here it is. This is currently my favorite 4-string bass, my favorite more like classic Fender-ish. It's not a Fender, but it's Fender-ish, right? Because it's got, the pick guard, kind of classic wood, 4-string neck, rosewood. And the pickups are a PJ configuration, so precision, jazz, right? And it's active, but I can use it in passive mode. It's got active passive switch here. It's just a lovely, lovely bass that I've been enjoying. It's the one I've been practicing on pretty much all the time. And so it's also the one I'm most comfortable in at the moment. I'm developing rough calluses again. I've been practicing hours a day on the bass, as I haven't since I was a little boy. And not that little. I was like 16 when I really got into bass. And oh no, I left my transmitter on, so the battery's drained. So that means we're going to plug straight in here. I have this pedal table over here where I do my little pre-processing signal chain, and today we're going to use my very simplified. So it's the bass compressor going into the JHS pedal box, color box, which has been my favorite pedal lately. It simulates the channel strip from an old Neve console. So it's like recording the line in from a Node classic board. And that's what we're going to be doing, but we will be using a compressor. Right? I'm going to use my A/B switch here because that'll allow me to eventually, when I record guitar, go into another chain that includes the HX Stomp pedal. The HX Stomp has really nice amp simulations. Wow, yeah, it sounds really nice. I'm really loving this signal chain. using amp sims for the bass at all. I'm going for that bass line in sound, which a lot of classic studio recordings. Oh my god, my tuner was in 442. That means less things I've recorded were a little high. Gotta watch out with this tuner. It's got this calibration feature, and it's right under the standby. Gracias, Mari. Mari has just brought over my mate, which is what it's my fuel for these live streams. And we're at 11:28 here in Mexico City. So that means I have probably about half an hour before my friend Carlos shows up, and we're gonna work on the project we have going on, a duo project, kind of alternative electronic music. That's gonna be fun. But in the meantime, I'll try to get some of this reggae down. There you go. I have a pretty decent sounding bass line already going on here. Do we want it to be in C? Why not? So what are we using for pickups here? So this is the pickup select potentiometer here. And right now we're using both pickups equally. So it's the P and the J. Sounds nice. And we're also using the bass in passive mode. We're bypassing the built-in preamp. Let's try something different. Let's turn on the preamp. See, already we get a little boosted, more modern sound. And turn down the highs. One option is to use only the P pickup. Yeah, this sounds more like a P bass, and therefore more classic, more old school, perhaps. But I don't know. This is nice, but I don't know. I think I like the What do y'all think? Anybody here in the chat willing to chime in and tell me if I should use the PJ or just the P? Or even just the J? Or if I do use just the J, I probably want to boost. Oh, it's already boosted. No, definitely not the J. Definitely not the J. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with PJ. I'm feeling it. That's what I'm feeling. So let's do it. Hey guys and gals, who's here today? Nobody said a word in the chat. Come on. Say hi to me. All right. We need to open a track for the bass. Right. And the input is A.4. A in 4. Chord enable. Also, we want low latency monitoring and no delay compensation. Okay. Let's just record some ideas here. missed the. Should have added one little beat at the end there, but let's see if how far I got off of it in one bar. Yeah, pretty far actually. There we go, fixed it. All right, I think that's okay, and if I like this take already, I have a form, I have a structure. I have an A section, B section goes to the 4. There's a little bridge there that I did, and all of this with just the bass, right? Without defining the harmony yet. However, the bass does kind of define the harmony. You kind of, I guess I could use major or minor chords still, but it'll kind of be obvious when I pull out the guitar. And for the guitar today, I brought out. See, every day I put a different set of instruments in this 3 stand here. Sometimes 3, sometimes just 2. Today I have just 2, and this is a venerable Gibson Les Paul guitar I have here right now. So, which is what Bob Marley used to use. Kind of a nod to the master. However, we will A-B this to the other chain where I have the HX Stomp. The HX Stomp is a complete solution for the guitar or the bass that has all the pedals you could possibly want, plus the amp simulations. So it does everything. And let's turn up the volume here. These are going into 6, 5, and 6. Why am I not quite getting a sound? Well, it's in the input here. Change presets. Volume. There you go. There's the volume. And I have the Strymon Night Sky here, which is a really nice reverb. I'm loving the mahogany neck on this old Gibson. It's not so old. It's like a 2017, I think. Let's tune it up. Volumes are up, tones are up. This thing came with those Robo tuners. Did y'all know that at some point Gibson was making robotic tuners on a lot of their guitars as a way to innovate? And those tuners had like piezo pickups in them that detected the tuning and then controlled the servo motors that turned the tuning machines until the guitar was in tune. And it's pretty handy, actually. It worked really well. You just like strum the guitar and you watch how the tuners would like just move around and tune it up. And you could even program different tunings. And especially useful for that, if you were playing like in a band where you need to use different alternative tunings for different songs. that could be super useful. However, at some point the battery ran out, and I realized that thing used a bespoke adapter. Couldn't just plug in any old adapter to recharge the battery. And I went online and saw that the adapter it used was pretty expensive. It was coming. The only place I found was in England. And I started to feel like, wow, why do I want to depend on this, electronic thing? So I went old school and just spent the money I would have spent on the adapter on new tuners for it. Nice, good old school hand operated tuners. All right, let's have a look at some presets here. Some bass presets, some guitar. Weird. Some of these don't sound like they're doing anything. Clean start. Weird. Like a delay. Direct stereo bloom. We want something simple. Something clean and simple, right? Definitely not that. That'll be nice for when I do like a reggae song or rock song, right? Hey there, anybody here today? That's nice for some ambient stuff. This is called Pop My Punk. I like it for kind of like pop punk. Nice. That one's nice and stereo. Oh, this one sounds nice. It's called Sultan, so I guess it's like Mark Knopfler inspired. Sultans of Swing, probably what they mean, right? These preset names usually try to sound like what inspired them initially. So here we have, this is just a nice amp sound. So let's see what I can come up with here. We're going to open the stereo track this time, because the output from something's biting my neck here. Guitar strap, necklace, microphone cord, too many things. The output of the HX Stomp is stereo. So that reverb, the little tiny bit of reverb that we're getting there, it's a stereo reverb, so we might as well record in stereo. So we're going to call this guitar 1, because we might do a second guitar. Who knows? And the inputs are 5 and 6 on my ADAT expansion interface. So ADAT 5 and 6 here. And let's see what we can come up with. The action's a little high on this. I'm not great at setting up Gibsons. I've always been more of a Fender guy. And this thing has a whole bunch of extra, like bridge things and nut things that you should, besides just the truss rod and pickup height. It's okay, it's playable. It's got flats on too, flat bone strings. For more of a jazzy sound. Oh, yeah, something's really hurting my neck. Nobody here? Come on, folks. I've been here for 50 minutes now and nobody's even said hi. Come on. Don't leave me hanging. Okay, let's see what we come up with that over that bass line. So I'm basically so it's a C, A flat, G. So we'll try it by parts, right? So when it changes to the B section, I'll probably miss that change. Figure some, stop recording, figure out what I'll do there, and then punch in. It's the headset cable that's getting. I'm gonna put on the guitar first, and then the headset. There we go. So I have a few options for the C. I think I want it to be a C minor. And it can be dominant, but it can be just this like plain bar dominant chord here, or it can be this like nice little jazzy 13 voicing. I've used this in songs before. It's the very same progression actually. It's pretty much the same as I can also use my fingers versus the pick. I'm liking the pick for this. Let's do it. I probably only have about 6 minutes left, so. Now that's sounding too much like my song Meninalada because I'm using the exact same voicings. I might be in the same key. No, it's a different key. But so I'm gonna do different. Yeah, that'll make it. Cause that thing was a reggae too, the other song. So yeah, gotta watch out so you don't repeat yourself, folks. Okay, up to there, I think I did okay. Let's hear. I think I can do it cleaner. Or I can just do the straight, the standard kind of dominant chords here. Yeah, I think that'll work better. So then it goes to the F here. dum dum, ka-dum dum dum. And it goes, you know, this is such a heavy guitar. I'm not used to playing Gibsons. Oh, now I pulled the cable out. Let's put it under the strap. I'm suffering with the Les Paul here. I'm not a Les Paul guy. I'm just trying to be like Bob. Alright, let's try something for the B section here. Maybe instead of the chord here, I should do the... Right, just do like the octaves. Let's see. Yeah, we should definitely, maybe the second guitar can do that, but I should do the chords on this. That kind of does the job, I think, for the B section here. Let's just fix the punch. And then here it goes back to the A section. Just take it from there. Yeah, I think I'll double the bass with another guitar after this. It'd be nice. The bass is doing some cool lines. Right, and there's this little bridge here. So hold on. So it's going. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. So. So what's going to work over that? Let's see. For the B section. No, C section, right? More like a bridge. Just going up in whole steps. We'll do this minor. Let's try that. Changes here. Changes here. Let's see. Down here, dun, 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 dun. Like on the A section, and then goes to the F. All right, and then probably back to the G. No, not really. Let's cut this part here and let's listen to what the bass is doing. It's like an F minor though. Yeah, I think it does kind of imply the G. Let's see. Or we can just leave the no chord there. Just let the bass and the second guitar do the line. goes to the B section again. Oh, it looks like, did I play a major here? No, it's minor. And we'll come up to the high F, like we did the first time. Just the G dominant here. And we go back to the A. Back to the AA, as they would say in Canada. It ends there. I don't know. I didn't perform this the best that I could have, but we can fix little things in the edit. Let me just have a quick look. Carlos is supposed to have arrived by now. I'm going to look at the window. If his car's not there, then we're going to continue until he does get here. Carlos's car is not here, so we can keep going for a little while until he does show up. Oh, sorry. I hate it when that happens. It just bump this headset mic into things and startle you folks with crazy noises. Anybody here? Anybody watching? Let me have a look. I'm going to go into my YouTube and see how many people are watching right now, if any. I'm live, right? 2 people are watching. Okay, that's better than nothing. Thanks, 2 people who are watching. I do have over 180,000 subscribers. No, hold on. Somebody's calling me. I'm gonna turn off the mic here for a second. That was the this little dog cleaning truck. It's gonna show up here in a few minutes because I have 6 dogs, 6 female dogs that need baths. So I don't take them because that's too many dogs. So I have them come to my house and help me out. That's them right there. This is the truck here. Yeah, I'll just keep my eye out for when the dog washing truck shows up. You know, maybe for the doubling the bass. Maybe we'll use a clavinet instead of a second guitar. That'll be an interesting new texture to use. I'm also going to put a plug-in on the bass here. Let's tame those ultra lows there. And also the highs, and give it a little bit of compression. I can turn it a little bit down relative to the drums, right? Oh, let's give that snare a little bit of reverb too. Why not do the same to the overheads? All right, let's change this to a fat drums plate. There we go. Sounds nice, right? Maybe we'll make the kick drum a little snappier too. Let's hear just the kick. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, now let's find the clav sound here. Oh, this is nice actually. This is a CP80. CP80 is an electric piano. This one's called CP80 Dirty Funk. It's got kind of a NAMP sim distortion kind of a vibe. It kind of sounds like a clav, but it's a little different, which is nice. So I'm gonna use it, I think. So let's do stereo audio track. We're gonna call it CP80. This, by the way, is my Yamaha CK61 stage piano, stage keyboard, which is like a po man's Nord, and I'm super in love with it. It sounds great, feels great. It's pretty lightweight, has its own speakers for when you want to just practice or play it play along with the guitar, like acoustic guitar or something. It runs on batteries too if you need to take it to a bonfire, perhaps. Okay, and the input is ADAT 7 and 8. Okay. Hey, who's here? Say hi. I see that 4 people are watching me right now. Say hi in the chat, folks. And we'll record enable that track. Now, this is going to be a little tricky because I pretty much improvised the bass line and we want to double it. Now, there are a couple of things that I can do this, a couple ways I can do this. Now, Pro Tools, I think, can extract the MIDI to a new track. This is interesting. Right? We can do, because that'll save me having to actually like learn it and play it. So the way that we need to do this, I need to run I can run a USB cable to the Yamaha, but guess what? It adds a little noise, little like most MIDI USB things are not great. So another thing that I can do is run a MIDI cable from the back of my interface into the back of the Yamaha, because it does have standard MIDI input as well. And that, folks, the good old 5-pin DIN, whatever they call it, MIDI connector from way back in the day. Thank you, Dave, and all the other pioneers, MIDI pioneers. They made it so that that isn't the problem. There is no audible audio. What's making this noise? Something is like, and I'll use the output of my PreSonus audio interface, MIDI output from it, into my keyboard. And let's test that idea. Because that will, in theory, that'll... What? What happened here? Oh, it looks like I might have messed with the... I might have messed with the USB connection by mistake. As I was plugging in the MIDI cable, I might have screwed around with the USB there, and Pro Tools no longer recognized my audio interface. So we're gonna start it again. The audio interface seems to be on. USB light is on. So we're just gonna open it up again. And we'll send the MIDI that it just generated, right? Using the Melodyne. I'm gonna open recent Livestream Reggae. How many songs do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, these are my recents though. They're not all of the songs that I've done in these live streams so far. Okay, so now we're gonna send. We have to route the MIDI to the Studio 1824C, which is my audio interface. Well, seems to have done a fairly decent job of, but the articulation, I mean, the notes are all too long. So let's see. No, I don't want it here. I want to open MIDI editor. We're going to select all of the MIDI notes, and then we're going to use the trimmer tool to make them all shorter. So we're going to go into slip mode there and just make all these notes shorter. Like that. Cool. Now we're going to bring them all up up the octave. So event operations, transpose. Oh, my GoPro. I think the battery's running out. Let me plug it in. GoPro battery is running out probably. I'm going to plug it in to the USB power supply. There you go. Okay. So now we're going to transpose by 1 octave. Apply. All right, now let's listen to that. Yeah, beginning doesn't seem to have quite picked up what the bass line's actually doing. Let's have a quick look. So we're going to change to notes here. Can we? Notes. So we can edit these notes if needed right on. And we don't need this thing. I don't want to see the editor here. Media editor. There we go. So now we can see the notes right here. Can I zoom? I wonder if I could zoom this to just the. What is this for? This plus. Add a marker. What is this thing? Doesn't say. All right. Let's just solo the bass. All right. We don't need this, right? That's the bass like slide in. And right. This second note, this note that I just fixed. It's not what I. Right down. And it's supposed to be way shorter. So that's something Melodyne just screwed up there. Right, so let's just listen to the piano and bass together. there's a couple of notes like that are just, I think they're ghost notes that I played that Pro Tools recognizes actual notes. Maybe I want this to be even higher in pitch. Let's go back to event operations transpose, and go up one more octave. High. Right, let's go back to the beginning here. I don't know. I'm just testing an idea here, folks. Normally I would just play this, and I probably should. It'll probably sound better. You know. Also, the velocity. Let's have a look at the velocity here. So we're going to open this in the editor. Open in the MIDI editor. Change this to watch velocity. And I think I want less variation in the velocity of the keyboard part. Right? So we're just going to bring everybody up to pretty high. Like this, set velocity. Huh. Suddenly it didn't make a sound. Oh, right, because it's not soloed. Maybe there's like a velocity compression thing, like a. Let's have a look at event operations. Change velocity. Yeah, we can. Oh, yeah, my friend Carlos is here. So I think we're going to have to end for today, folks. Let's just do this. Set all to? No. Scale by or limit. I don't know. Which one of these would... I just want to change, like lessen the variation, right? Change smoothly. Or set all to... Let's just set all of them to one velocity. There you go. All right, let's listen to the whole thing. I think this was a worthwhile investigation, but I'm probably gonna have to do this the old school way, which is to actually perform, like a real musician instead of a computer programmer. That's kind of the point here, right? Humanmusic.org. I mean, it doesn't mean we won't ever use computer aid for certain tasks, but I think for performing an instrument, we're probably gonna want to just play it. Actually, it doesn't sound too bad, but yeah. All right, we're gonna have to stop now. My friend Carlos is here. We're gonna do some other stuff. So thanks again, everyone who's joined today. Even though nobody came into the chat, I felt so lonely. Nobody talked to me today. That's okay though. Thank you anyway for anyone who's joined, anyone who's watching this in the future. Um, Tomorrow we're gonna continue making this cool reggae tune. All right.